everyone, welcome to Thoughts and Treasures. My name's Connie and this is my craft room. I want to welcome anybody that is new and those that are returning to watch me. If you guys are new, please be sure to hit that follow button or subscribe button, whichever platform you are watching on, so you don't miss out on any of my videos. And if this is something that you do want to see more of, crafting videos, please, you don't want to miss. Hit that subscribe button or follow button. So I have a fun craft tonight. We are going to be using this printable. So, you know, the air is blowing it. We're going to be using this printable. I love the truck. If you guys are not familiar, I do live sales every Sunday, unless otherwise noted. But they do have printables in it, and this is one of them. So you can join and come on in and find the fun over there. That's on Facebook every Sunday at 7 p.m. So we're going to use a piece of cardstock as my backup piece. This is what I like to call my happy signs. I really enjoy these. And I like to layer, so it kind of gives you, because I'm an 80s girl. 80s girl likes to layers. So we're going to do this piece with our printable image on it. Wait a minute, let me grab it. Like so. And we're going to use this piece and we're going to put this part on. And then we're going to layer. We're going to put some ribbon on here, a nice little bow. We're going to put some greenery on here. We're going to make it look nice. So, first things first, I'm going to give this part a paint job. So we're going to paint this all white. And the reason I'm going to paint this white is so that our image pops behind it. And I'm going to give this coverage on the back. But I'm also going to do the front. Only because every time and this is a me thing, I don't know, but every time I try to decoupage onto plain wood, it never wants to stay. So I like to give it a coating of the white just so that it stays on. And I do have my iron heating up over here. My iron. So I'm going to do, and on these are not laser cut, these are cut on our CNC. So I want to make sure, well, I don't know if this is cut on the CNC or if Ross just cut it. I'm not sure. But they're cut with a saw instead of a laser, so we're going to paint the sides on these two. And let's just do the back first. So with this, I'm just going to use this wonderful Snow White by Waverly, just to give it you can use just a thicker coat. You can use any white paint that you want. Now, I know if you're painting a lot, you know, you can go to Home Depot and get a gallon of paint, and it's the same thing. Just don't think that you have to use acrylic paint. You can use any paint you want. It depends on, you know, how many signs that you're using. Now, for white, I'd probably go through that. For the other colors, not so much. So I'm just going to give this a nice coat. And yes, this is the boring part, watching somebody paint absolutely nothing. But this gives me a chance to say hi to everybody and welcome you in. Thank you for being here. I do go live on Facebook Monday through Thursday at 8:30. And I post all of my videos over on YouTube. And I do post on TikTok and all of the other, and Instagram. Well, trying to on Instagram. We're slowly growing over there. So if you're not following or subscribing to any of them, please consider. It does help our pages grow. And of course it could mean something to you or it could not. I mean, if I never see you again, I'll cry. But it just helps. I do these videos daily. I post about 4 a week of different crafts that I do. And I say daily, it's more like 4 times a week. So, half the week. Alright, I'm going to give this a good dry first, and we're going to do it. I am making sure that this is a completed project, so we are getting the back done. This is actually going someplace, so you can make it look done. If you do not want to do the back of something, that is up to you. I, however, always make it complete. There's my little girl. Where'd you come from? My dog just came down here. Sydney's here. And if you are part of my pages, you probably will see her a lot. She is part of everything. She's that dog that says, "Get that camera out of my face now." Ross says the same thing, but... So again, I'm just giving this a nice layer of paint. This is the back, the front. I will only do one layer. And then the reason I do that is because I know I'm decoupaging it, and you're never gonna, no you won't. And it's cardstock, so you're not even gonna see through it. But with that decoupaging cardstock, I never have, there's a little gnat in here. Better not be a mosquito. With that cardstock, I just never have luck of it staying on. It always wants to come off. Because I think the glue goes into the wood more than... So, again, it may be a me thing, but I definitely use a lot of the Mod Podge, so... And again, you don't have to use Mod Podge. You can use any decoupage medium that you want. I just prefer... And maybe that could possibly be the difference. I just use regular Mod Podge. If I would use maybe something more, I don't want to use expensive. I don't even know what word I want to use. I was trying to think of something, but all right. I'm going to get this completely dry first, and then I'm going to do the sides, and I'm going to do the front. So while I'm drying this, if you guys are not familiar, I do have a website, Patriotic.com. It is, however, is at the time not set up to take orders, but you can go over there and look at the different things that I've done. And if you're interested in anything that you see, you are more than welcome to message me. I have an Amazon storefront, and let me tell you how that works also. You do not have to, I do have stuff in my storefront, however, you do not have to particularly buy what is in my storefront. You can just click on my link, travel off of and venture on to whatever you're looking for, and it still helps that Amazon knows that you're still from where I sent you. So whatever you purchase in your cart, it gives me a commission. So please consider doing that. The link is on my website under my link tree. Alright, that should be dry enough. Now we're going to go back in and do the little sides here. Let's see which way I should go. Bug! The heck? Look! These things know they don't like them. Look, lucky I didn't scream like a girl. Just saying. Oh my gosh. It is bug season. Do they not know? Or they probably do. That's why they're bothering me. That is the second one in this video. If it comes back, that's it. I'm out of here. Now I'm like looking for it. Alright, I'm only going to put one coat on the front. We're going to get it completely dry. And then I'm going to set it to the side. I'm going to do the other one. Well, actually, yeah, because I'm going to Mod Podge at the same time. And this brush is going to go into the trash can because it's just leaving all kinds of ickies behind. And again, like I said, I'm only doing this for the Mod Podge, so it doesn't, the Mod Podge does not soak into. I'm telling you, there's things flying around here. We just had the bug people here. We get our yard sprayed. I'm not happy with this. Sydney, protect me, there's bugs. She was chasing a fly the other day. Now that's one thing we don't have too many of around here. Surprise, surprise. Because the spiders eat them all. Look, that's all I'm going to be talking about is bugs now. Alright. Because we do have to paint this other board too. And there's a totally different reason why I'm painting that board versus this board. So let me get this dry. And then we'll set it to the side. So I'm going to throw this into the trash can and get it this one. Because it's just leaving so many of these little fibers behind. Now I'm going to put this side. Ooh, it's not completely dry. I'm going to stick it. I don't know where I'm going to stick it, but I'm going to stick it right here. I got paint all over my fingers because the side's not dry. Alright, so I'm going to do the same thing on this board, except we're going to get a different paintbrush that's not all leaving fibers behind. Alright, I'm going to do the sides first on this one because we are not doing the back. The back will be up against the other one. So now I call these signs my happy signs just because they make me happy in making them. You know how some people make wreaths? I make these signs. I can do them with vinyl. That's how I usually started out with. Then I did some decoupaging on with the front boards. They're just simple. I like to change them out like you would wreaths. It just makes me happy. That's why I call them my happy signs. I enjoy making them. They're easy, they're just fun, and I'm not too much of a wreath person. I have nothing against them, don't get me wrong. Wreaths are pretty. I just don't have the storage space to store all the different wreaths for each season and all that. So instead, I make these signs. So I can put them on my front door, and signs stored, like you can put in a nice sized tote, you probably can put about 40 signs. Well, maybe not many, but maybe not that many, but close enough. They store flat. They're, you know, you have one tote that you, versus, you know, a wreath is big and bulky. So it's kind of the same thing. Some people like to put signs on their front door. Some people like to put wreaths. I'm a wreath person only because I don't have the store. I mean, a sign person because I don't have the storage space. But it is something to consider, and you know, you can change it up between wreaths and signs. But I put the greenery on here. I put the bow. It just, it's a happy sign. I have them on my closet door upstairs. I put them on my front door. You know, just change them out for the seasons. And then if there isn't a holiday season involved, like Christmas or Thanksgiving, then I'll just put maybe a funny, sarcastic one or a motivational one inside, not on my front door. Obviously not on my front door. All right, let me get this to dry, and I'm going to put one more coat on here. One more coat. So this will be all the painting I have to do other than Mod Podging on, but on, brush that even. So again, this is not the impressive part of it because we're just painting white. Not a big deal. Get that finished, and now I'm going to close this up so I don't drop that. Put this back down under here out of the way. And let's get this completely dry now. Then we can get to the fun part. That's when the magic happens. So again, with these signs, if you don't want to do them all in one day, you can paint them up, put them aside, have them ready to go. You can paint the background. You don't have to do cardstock or Mod Podge the background. This one I am going to. Sometimes I paint them, sometimes do Mod Podge. But it can be done any way you want them to be done. I am going to give this a sanding. With the other one, and the reason I'm doing this is because I want to make sure that it's nice and flat. When you paint, you get the board fibers from the paint causes the board fibers to come up, the wood fibers. So you can get this one too. Make sure I'm going to give this another dry. This is still wet. Everything dry. And again, I'm not so much worried that, oh my gosh, it's, scraped a little bit off. But if you do, I am not pushing down on this. I'm just lightly rubbing it off. Because I want to make sure that the Mod Podge and the paper have a nice smooth surface. I got paint all over my fingers. Alright, next up. Oh, stretch. We are going to Mod Mod Podge this down. All right. So squirt some on, and I'll probably put some more. Oh, I'm running out. So I said this is actual Mod Podge. Mod Podge, yeah, that stuff. And I said once I get rid of what I have, I still have some in the closet, that once I get rid of it, I'll probably make my own, and you can do that because it's just water and glue. You can use regular Elmer's glue. There is like, I think, 3-to-1 ratio, so 3 cups of glue to 1 cup of, I mean, I'm just saying cups, but you can use quarter cups, you can whatever, but a 3-to-1 ratio. So however many, you put 3 cups in, 1 cup of water. If you do 6, you do 2 cups of water. Depending on how much Mod Podge you probably want to make. And I just keep mine in a condiment bottle that I got from the Dollar Tree. I tried them FIFO bottles. Yeah, that's not for me. They don't work. Either you get too much out or it just... And I'm not worried about this having uneven layers or amount. I'm just brushing it down. Some of it's drying as we're going. That's all fine because I'm going to do the iron-on method, and when you use the iron, it's going to heat and distribute things evenly anyway. But I just want to make sure I get enough in the corners. Wipe this off for a minute. I'm going to do the other one, but I'm going to dry this first. I don't want anything to... Stuff will dry quickly, so... Wipe everything down. I'm going to dry this really, really good, and we're going to put it aside. Oh, I'll just put that one first. We'll do one at a time. So, anything red, white, and blue, of course, is for 4th of July, Memorial Day, all those good things. But, you know, we can decorate with that year-round. It does not, no one said that it only has to be for 4th of July, so... Now remember, the more Mod Podge you put down, the more drying time is involved. And I want to get this completely dry because I want to make sure that I get my wood. My backer piece has a wood grain on it, so I want to make sure that I get it perfectly straight. And allowing this to dry will allow me to maneuver it where I need it to be. Still looks wet, but it's not. Or it may be a little bit, but we're good. A little bit, but that's okay. So when I put it on here, I want to put it on here so that I know it's kind of straight. And you can lift up and you can maneuver it around. So this might take me a few because I'm going to be very, very anal about it. See, that looks pretty darn straight. Alright, we're going to go with it. Alright, I am going to get a piece of parchment paper. And I don't need it as big as it needs to be because I'll show you why. So we have this down. I'm going to use my parchment paper. I do have my iron. It's already heated up. And I'm just going to move my parchment paper around. But I'm going to make sure that I get it all on here. Especially around the edges. And I always go back in after I sand off the excess. And give it one last iron before I turn it off. I want to apply some pressure because I want to make sure that the glue melts and evens itself out. Make sure I get it on the edges there. If you definitely have never tried the Mod Podge method, or the iron-on method, definitely give it a try. It is so much nicer. You get a smoother finish. Now, some people also leave the decoupage medium, in my case, Mod Podge, wet, apply their image, and then iron it on. And that's fine too. It'll help get some of the wrinkles out if you have it in there. I prefer to dry the entire thing just because then I can maneuver things around without accidentally tearing anything of the sort. This is the part where some of you may not want to hear. You may not like the noise, so mute. Always, always, always go in one direction. Not the band. The sanding. If you go up and down, I am going down, picking it up, down, picking it up. If you go up and down, your chances of ripping your paper are very, very high. Now that I have like a nice ring, I'm going to go back over this one last time before, well, I don't have to turn it off yet, but I want to make sure I get the edges nice and secure. And again, this is probably a me thing. I probably overdo it. But it doesn't hurt anything, so. So we're going to put this to the side. There's our backer board. Love this. This is cardstock that came from Hobby Lobby. I absolutely love this. Now, next, we're going to put some Mod Podge on this board. And we're going to run my dog's face over. She's like laying right here. And again, this is the back piece that's going to lay down so we don't have to worry about the back part of it. Make sure I get it all over. I always tend to put too much on and then I don't put enough on and, you know, we just go. Just have fun with it. But we're going to do the same thing as I just did, but this is with the rice paper. That's what my prints are printed on, is rice paper. And in my live sale, you will see different ones each week. So if it's something you're interested in, I usually go according to like the seasons, or I play off of what everybody's into. I always take suggestions for things. So if there is something you're looking for, I can definitely discuss it with you. Or you can catch me on Sunday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Time to check out that week's printables. And that is over on Facebook. Put a little more in this corner. Alright, and that should be good. I'm just going to give this a wipe down. I can put that back away. Wipe this down real quick so that doesn't dry up. Like here. And then we're going to completely dry this. Come on, dry. You know what I think takes the longest to dry? Is when you Mod Podge and dry. You need to just put that down and walk away, because you'll be there for days. It just seems like it takes forever. Now, we got our board down. So now, this is where the nice part is that you can lay this on here and see where you're putting it. Make sure I get it on there nicely. Come down to the bottom some. See, and then you can play with it until you get it where you want it to be. bit more. I feel like I moved it at all. Come on, go over there. There you go. Oh, now I moved it too much. I mean, I'm being a little particular. I don't think anybody's going to notice that tiny little itty bitty centimeter that it was. Millimeter, centimeter. All right, we're going to do the same thing. So there's different things you can do with rice paper. And this is like my favorite thing. I know a lot of people put them on like wood boxes, metal cans. They make ornaments from them. And now I do say when I do my live sale, if this image is too big for what you want, for your intentions for it, you can ask for it to be smaller. Like maybe 4 to a page instead of 1 to a page. So there are different options you can ask for. Let me put it down. Hold your ears again if this bothers you. Just pushing it to the side. I know you can't see very well, but still going in that downward motion. So you can see. Going in that downward motion, down, down, down. So now with items like this, you got to remember with rice paper, especially it being so thin, you do want to make sure the background color, you don't have to do it white, but whatever color you're painting the background is going, the backer board is what I mean, is what's going to be what you're going to see. Now I am not going to grind this up at all. I'm going to leave it as is. Let me just get the little fibers off. Around. And just like I did with the other one, I think that's perfect on there. Just like I did with the other one, I'm going to do one last time before I turn my iron off. Excuse me. Make sure everything is down. Piece of fiber in my eye. Alright. We're done with that. We're done with that. Now, let me show you what we're going to do. And what my vision is. Oh, I think I like that a lot. I really like that together. This is probably one of my favorite all-time cardstocks for use as backer boards. So what I'm going to do, first I need to get a pair of my little scissors. I gotta get my little scissors out so I can cut off 2 of these. This is boxwood. Is that what it's called? Yes, boxwood. This is boxwood, and I got this at Walmart. Most of the time, that's where I get it from. It's rather inexpensive over there. I hate to use the word cheap because nothing's cheap these days. So I usually take 2 sprigs of this, branches, sprigs, whatever you want to call this. Cut them with my little scissors. Now, I have a jar full of these things, and this is where I get most of them from. This piece right here, it just seems to always get in the way. So, I just kind of cut this piece off. And then we end up with this at the end. I have a whole jar full of them. And I'll show you why. So I usually put these two like this. Now, a lot of people staple. A lot of people, I don't do all the staple thing. But I am going to make a bow, and we're going to put a bow right here in the middle. So I have this Americana star and just some plain. And I am going to add some raffia into it because I like that. I do lift this up because this is a silicone mat and it's hard to scrunchy bunchy together. So this is what I'm going to do. Get me a pair of scissors. I don't ever measure. I just kind of, alright, that looks good. Go with that. If it's too big, we can lower it. We can make it smaller. I don't know. Is there such thing as a big bow? Ooh. Scissors on the floor. And I usually like to take a larger, thicker one and then my thinner one up in the front. And I think that that's going to look perfect together. Alright, done with that. And I just take two pieces of it together. And again, I think this might be a little too big, but it's okay. We'll trim down. Not a problem. And I do like to ducktail my ends. On all the pieces. And yes, some people put them together and do it all. Look, I got time. I apologize if you are not enjoying this part, but I got the time. Take my little pieces, put them into the trash can. I'm going to get a piece of raffia out of here. This is not really raffia, but this is the time to get this stuff. This is an actual hula skirt from the Dollar Tree, and I definitely saw them already. If I had to use real raffia, I probably wouldn't, but I really like adding something else into this. And again, it's my happy sign, so this stuff makes me happy. I know some people are like, oh, raffia is only for the fall time. No. Just like Americana stuff is not just for 4th of July. So we're just going to do like a messy bow. Except for you're not doing a messy, we're doing a crisscross. My friend used to call this the scrunch and bunch, so that's what I stick with. We do the scrunch and bunch bow. Okay, so you're just going to crisscross them. You can use your bow dabber for this if you want to. It does the same effect. I cut these in half so we have more. I'm going to place this into the center. Okay, and maybe I should cut a piece of string first. Okay, have our string ready. And then put your finger in the center. Hold everything down. And then just scrunch it all together. Scrunch and bunch to the middle until your two fingers meet. Drag it off to the side, grab it with your other hand, and you're going to end up with a little bow. And like I said, I think this is a little too big, and we'll definitely trim it down. And we're just going to scrunch, 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 keep pulling, keep pulling, keep pulling, keep pulling, until you get it nice and tight. I do about 3-4 times around the center. And then I flip it down on the counter. Tie a knot, Don't tie too tight, because some of the times this twine is very, very cheap. And you might not know your own muscles. And then we're going to cut this off. Did I do? Let me do one more. I think I did twice. We'll do 3 times, just to be safe, because I don't know how many times I did. Now, does not hurt. I'm not cutting I'm cutting very, very close, not right off. So now, I think first of all, looking at that, these are way too long. So I'm going to trim them down. Because I definitely want them to be shorter. Now, wire ribbon is amazing. You can then form it after. And you can always save your time and ducktail at the end anyway. This one's still kind of long. Always take a little bit off at a time, because you can never put it back on. You can always take more off, but you can't put it back on. I'm going to take this over the trash can, because I'm going to cut some of this raffia down. This back over and see what we think of it. I think that's good. And I like a nice little big bow. I think that's good. I think that's happy with it. Just do a little more. Trim this down just a little bit. See how it lays. I want it to be up a little bit above the sign, so let's trim this side down just a little bit. And again, it's all with playing. I think that's gonna work. Oh, that's a little long. Where'd you come from there, buddy? I likey, I likey. Now, before I put any of this onto the front, ouch, the drawer's open. My chair is not moving. I am going to add a beaded hanger to this. If I can find my twine. So, the reason I do that is because I'm going to put the beaded hanger on, and before you have all that stuff on here, it just makes it easier to put the hanger on before you put anything else on. So, I have this from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to use the beads off of it. This is just felt, the stiffened felt, that I'm going to use as a enforcer. I couldn't think of the word. So I am going, where's my scissors at? We're just going to cut this off and watch the beads go everywhere. I don't do a full bead hanger, but we're going to use the red and the white. Well, I guess that's a blue. It's a blue. I think it's a blue. Yeah, we'll do all of it. So first things first. Bead threader, and we are going to, let's do red, white, blue, red, white, blue. Now, this is where the tricky part comes, because I want the same thing to be over here. So I'm going to see if I do it the right way. If not, I'll take it off and try it again. Red. Do I want to do it backwards? I don't know. I always do this backwards, and I have to do it 15 times. Because I want it to come up the same way on the opposite side. So let's see if this worked. No. Red, white, blue, red, white, blue. So I need to start with the blue. See? Just crazy. So let's see if I do blue, white, red. Blue, white, red. Now we got it. All right, so we're going to have our, can you see that? See how it's going? It's matching from the red up. That's what I was trying to do. All right, so I pull my glue tool over here closer to me. I'm just going to put a stripe of glue down here. I'm going to hold this on here. Yes, I'm doing it longer down. Then I'm going to take my little enforcer. Doesn't need to be quite so long, but it's okay. Whatever. I cut these. A while ago. And we're just going to put that down on top. Watch out, the glue comes through it, so it's hot. I had a bunch of these from when I was doing plastic canvas, the felt, so I'm just using them up as we go along. If I ever have to buy any new, I'll probably stick with either white, black, you know, neutral colors. I have green, orange, red, you know, all the colors. All right, now this is where I'm going to hold this up towards me. Now you can see how the hanger, the red, white, and blue. Let's see about, I don't want a huge, huge hanger. I think probably about there is good. And we're going to do the same thing over here. Nice stream of glue down. We're going to hold that in there a second. And then we're going to get our other piece. Let me put this away before it gets lost. And again, we're going to do the same thing. and lay it down over here. Smooth it down. I'm just making sure that I get right where the rope is, twine. And then I'm just going to trim this off. I don't care if it pokes out the bottom. Put that in the trash can. So now we have our sign. Okay, so now we don't have to worry about it. Once we have our bow and everything on, you know, then things just get too hard to flip it over and press down and do all that stuff. So we've got our little truck that I'm going to put on here. But before I glue anything, I'm going to make sure that I like where everything is. Now with the greenery, roll away. Sydney, you got hit with it, didn't you? I know. I don't need such a long piece of that. But I'm going to take a piece of this twine and we're going to wrap it around here. First, to keep these together, why don't I make it longer here? First, to keep it together. Second, it'll give me something really, really nice to glue it to. And the same as the bow, we're just going to tie a double knot, or in my case, triple knot. And again, I'm not cutting close to the knot, but just leaving a little, because you're not going to see that. Oh, that you might see, because that's extremely long. Glasses, Connie, glasses. All right. So now we have that, and that'll just give us where we want to hold down on our glue. And then again, you can do your staples here. Some people staple. That's up to you. It's your choice. I'm going to look for one thing before I do anything, and that is to see if I have it's always good to keep spare wood pieces around. I want to put a star, I think, in the middle. And if I have any. That might be kind of cute. One more place. I was going to put a flower, but then I'm thinking, maybe we'll put a star in there. when you laser cut, you definitely have lots of all kinds of itty bitty stuff laying around, and you definitely never want to get rid of any of it. Because you can always use it for something. Oops. Don't. I like that, or if I want to put one of these on. It's a little. Maybe a red one. I don't like the white one. That's kind of cute. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do it. Alright, I think I like that. And hopefully we can find a nice medium to put that on. Alright, so first things first is I'm going to glue my sign on. Don't laugh. But I am going to measure this. Not measure, but put a placement here so I know after I get the glue on, I know where I'm putting it. Roughly. I'm going to go with this line. And it is going to go towards the bottom some rather than the top. Hold on, we need to heat the tool up again. It wasn't sitting in there nicely. Get this off. My tool machine, if it's not, doesn't sit on there nicely, it cools off rather quickly. And it has a tendency to do that. So I'm just going to pick this glue off while it's heating up. Because I don't want to have bulky bubbles in it. So, I apologize. If you guys want to check out my website, thoughtsandtreasures.com, it does show all of the videos I have. Some of them may not go to the link due to Facebook deleting their videos after X amount of days now. And so we're rebuilding that up. Let's try this again. There we go. I put a little bit of glue in all four corners and in the middle. Gives it time to I think we're good. I think we're good. Alright. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put this right here. Actually, I think I'm going to get... Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get another glue stick because we're running out. And I may need some. And I do put a glob there. And see where I said with the twine, I can have some place to hold it down. So I'm going to hold that until it dries completely. Only because this glue tool is hot. Now again, some people like to staple. You can do that too. And then we're going to put our bow on. I'm just going to do that right above it. And we're going to hold that together. Let that dry really, really, really good. We're almost finished. One last thing to do is our little bow center, but I'm going to let this dry. Like I said, I want to make sure that bow is on there and it's on there good. I have glue strings. And remember, these are always good. Like I said, I used these on the last video I did when we did our little chicken chalkboard. I just take a little piece of one of them off and just stuff it under a flower head, which is always good to do. But never ever throw them away. I have got a jar full. I probably will never ever use all of them, but because every time I do another one of these, you get more. And then I'm going to stick this on the middle. So we're going to stick some glue here. And I'm going to hold this and I'm not going to move. Or breathe, apparently. I'm not even breathing. What the heck? Oh, that was funny. I'm like, oh, I should breathe. Because there's not, this is like a wire star. And there's not a whole lot that, a flat back to it. I could have put, and if it doesn't stay, I could put a little piece of felt on the back of it. Yeah, see, I don't think it's going to stay. All right, well, what we might do, I don't think that's going to work. All right. I'm going to, since this has like little daisies in it, I'm going to put a daisy on it. I'm going to put a white flower on it. So, you always improvise. Let's put a little more glue on here. And we're just going to stick a daisy there. Because there's daisies down here. I guess there's daisies in the truck. And let me show you the finished product. I got beads going everywhere. See, a happy sign. Just makes you happy with the bow, the greenery, all of the goods. So I do want to say thank you for joining me tonight or today, whichever time you're watching. Thank you for joining me in my craft room. How about we say that? And if you have not subscribed or followed, please do. If this is something that you want to see more of, I want you to be sure that you don't miss any videos, and that the way to do it is to subscribe and follow. So you guys have an amazing rest of your day, evening, whichever it is. And until next time, I will see you. Until next time. Just remember, thoughts become things, things become treasures. I don't even know what I'm saying tonight. I do appreciate y'all for being here, and bye for now.